Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus once again, and I have a beautiful message for you coming live from station WEBM. That's wonderful, Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack down from the top of the sky right to wherever you are. And I'm hoping that this message will flow over you and around and about you as the blood flows through your veins. And when it's done, I hope you will like, make a comment, and subscribe. My message for you today is about this economy. This is about your life here in these bodies on this earth during these times. And I'd like to use the example of Lebron James. I understand that just the other day he signed a contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, affording him well over $150 million for a 4-year contract. And I'd like to ask you, do you think that's fair? 4-year contract, playing, entertaining, $150+ million that has nothing to do with the endorsements that he'll get. And do you think that's fair? I'd like to ask this question to you men out there who work hard every day. Some of you are mechanics. You work on cars every day, all day long, and you're still struggling from paycheck to paycheck. I'd like to ask this to you guys out there who are driving trucks. I know you might make a pretty penny, but you don't make a penny like that. And I'd also like to ask you guys out there who are teachers, who are instructors, who give your knowledge to uplift individuals and prepare them for the great future that is supposed to be before them. Now, when I ask, is this fair? Legally, it's fair, no doubt. We have a capitalistic system where you got certain people that are in charge of production and distribution and the like. And for the most part, even what's important, they do the research to see what people are interested in. But I ask you, is this morally fair? Is it morally fair that these men, such as LeBron, can make these kind of money just for play? And you have to suffer because you're not tall, or you're not really fast, and you're not swift, and you can't play basketball or football or baseball. Is it fair, morally, here living on this plane, that we have a system that's set up in such a way that certain people can make all kinds of money like this? Now, I know many of you will say, well, based upon the business that they're involved in, they can generate this kind of money coming in from you, the fans. You can generate this a kind of returns that allow you to do this. But I ask you, is it morally right? Is it morally right that you got a teacher who's instructing kids from preschool all the way through doctor's degree certification, and they don't make this kind of money? These guys can build any house they want, drive any car they want, go any place in the world they want, dress like they want, do for their kids like they want, do for their wives or husbands like they want. Can you do that for yours? Is that morally right? Well, I know what you're thinking. Many of you will say yes, and many of you will say no, and for all kinds of reasons and various reasons. But I come to you because I want to give voice to a different type of system. I'm not really knocking the fact that LeBron James has access to all of this access because of the funds that he gets. My plea has always been that people who serve the purpose of a system are rewarded according to that. Now, it is not necessarily the fact that so much income is generated from sports activities, but it's what sports does to you. It makes you feel good. It gives you something to laugh about. Everybody needs some type of excitement, something to generate their worth in life. And these guys address that. It has always been, whether you were playing basketball or whether you were in a coliseum with lions trying to kill you or you to kill the lions. But it's a distraction. It's a distraction for some of the greater things of life, like your education, like your careers, like those things that are essential for all of us for our survival. And these are the kinds of things that we can focus on. We should focus on. But we're living in a society that says this is all right. This is how the Constitution is set up. This is how private property and capitalism is set up. But then here again, it takes a guy like me who knows something about morals. And what I mean when I say morals, I'm talking about something that's good for me and good for you. Not good for me and bad for you, or good for you and bad for me. Something is immoral about that. If you work and I work, why should you enjoy a better life than me? Is it because you're tall or I'm short? Is it because you can run and I can only walk? What makes that fair that you are rewarded for running and me punished because I can only walk? Well, that's because of the way man's conceptualized the way our society should operate. But what I come to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Let me tell you how it's done in heaven. In heaven, there are basketball players. And these basketball players entertain heaven as much as any other place. And these athletes can do anything that money allows them to do, except they don't have to use money to do it. They just use their need, use their want, use their desire to do all of these wonderful, wonderful things that make life so fantastic. But at the same time, a janitor who does the work of a janitor, and the descriptions might vary from place to place, but that janitor, because that janitor plays a part in the process of heaven, that janitor is able to do anything that that janitor wants, need, or desire, just like a sports athlete. And there's no animosity between the athlete and the janitor. They both are expressing and living their dreams. And the society of heaven has no problem with it, because everybody there is doing the same things. Whatever their career is, whatever their career objective is, they are engaging it. They're engaging it in the product, in the finished product of creating all that heaven's inhabitants desire makes heaven for them. They play a part in that creative process, and by playing a part in it, they got a stamp on everything that exists made by the hands of those who are in heaven, meaning that they got part ownership in all existence of heaven. And by having their part ownership in it, they don't have to purchase anything. Everything is theirs, because what? They engage themselves in the creative process. And the most wonderful benefit that they get out of it is the joy of doing what it is that makes them special in their own unique kind of ways. And that is everybody. And here again, everybody plays a part in that process. All things that are created by those who are in heaven. And by those who are in heaven engage themselves, it puts a stamp on all things that exist, that everybody has some part in it, making them some part ownership. Even in our world today, you can invest in industry. You can invest in the various types of things that will allow you to invest. And because you invest, you get residuals, you get feedback, you benefit from it. And it's the same thing in heaven. In heaven, it's just that everybody, and I mean everybody, not just some, but everybody invests in the process. And everybody is rewarded for their investment in the process. And everybody's dream, their heavenly dream, comes true. That's the difference between what happens in heaven and that which happens in America. It is my duty, it is my responsibility and my obligation and my pleasure to inform you of the differences, not just to be talking, but to share with you something that you don't know, in hopes that it will inspire you, encourage you, that living in a society that even allows these people to benefit the way they do, the opposite of that is the crime and the violence, the lying, the cheating, the stealing, the terrorism, and all the wars that come from the kind of system that we engage ourselves in. Now, perhaps you might not like that. You want to get rid of that. And at the same time, enjoy life. And in order to do that, the way that I'm speaking to you about is doing it the heavenly way. Now, I hope I've said something that will encourage some of you. I know it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen to everybody at the same time. But it's going to happen. As Dr. King says, I've gone to the mountaintop, I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. And we are all there. So it might take some time, but we will, together, get there. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying thank you and bye-bye.